we got involved with the foundation though is after she passed away, you know, a lot of our family members, even at the funeral, didn't understand, you know, what had happened, and she got diagnosed with lymphocytic myocarditis. So my mom's family though has a strong history of cardiovascular disease, and my grandfather died really young of a presumed heart attack. But a lot of family members, while we're grieving, you know, they said, oh, you should have known that your mom, you know, would have heart disease. You should have known that this was coming. She could have, you know, but she was a healthy person. Like, she took good care of herself. She didn't smoke, she didn't drink, she ate what she was supposed to. And I think that's one of the hardest things to accept, is you do everything right in life, and this still happens to you. So that's the thing with myocarditis. It's hard to educate people, you know, in those terms, because I think as a society we get focused in on one thing. You always hear, do this is good for you. Do that, but with myocarditis, it doesn't matter what you do, you know, anybody's prone to it. So I started doing a little research, and I found the Myocarditis Foundation, and I just emailed Lindsay and I said, you know, what can we do? Like, we are in this deep, dark hole as a family. We need something positive to come out of it. So on her anniversary, which is March 2nd, 2012, this year we decided that we were going to do a fundraising event. So one of the things that we did to get out of our depression, I guess, is we started running, everyone in the family. So I told my dad, we're going to do this half marathon and raise money. So we set up a website through First Giving, and we started, you know, I just put my mom's story on the website, and kind of just put it on Facebook and said, you know, here's my mom's story, here's what myocarditis is, and we put a link to the foundation. And within the first week that it was out there, we raised about $1,000. And then we exceeded our goal, which was $1,000, and ended up raising about $1,800 for the foundation before race day in May. So, but one of the other things that I wanted to talk to you about today was I entered my first year of residency. So I graduated from medical school in May, and now I'm a first-year resident in internal medicine. And being in the medical field, you have a lot of guilt about this. Like, what could I have done differently? And you doubt medicine. You doubt, all your faith gets put in, you know, you think you're going to save everyone, but if you can't save your own mother, you start having your own doubts, like, I should get out of this, you know? So, but one thing that I want to let everyone know is I try to spread awareness as much as I can at work. And even in the last couple months, just hearing people talk about heart disease, and not a lot of doctors, not a lot of cardiologists that I work with actually know a lot about myocarditis. It often gets misdiagnosed. Patients don't even know that they've had myocarditis. I had one patient in the emergency department, I was kind of talking to him, and I was like, oh, so you had some stents put in a couple months ago, and he said, oh yeah, when I got those stents put in, I was having shortness of breath, and my enzymes were elevated, and I was like, well, maybe he was, you know, maybe he was having a heart attack. He was like, but nothing showed up on the EKG at that time, or the electrocardiogram, which is a tracing of your heart. And I just found that a little funny, you know, nothing would show up on the EKG, so why would they take him to the cath lab? And things just weren't adding up. So I talked to him a little bit more. He said, oh yeah, well, when they went in, my ejection fraction was really low. It was about 15%. I said, oh, he said, yeah, they told me I might have a little inflammation in my heart. I said, oh, did anyone ever say myocarditis to you? And he's like, no. I was like, I think you have myocarditis. And he's like, well, they put the stents in because they found blockage. But eventually, you know, they're watching it, and it's getting better. And at that time, his ejection fraction 3 months later was about 45%. So right there, I knew that there's definitely something to be said about the medical field, in that, you know, you tell a patient they have inflammation of the heart, but I think they're a little afraid to say, go ahead and say, oh, you have myocarditis. So there's a lot that can be done, and you know, the only thing that I think I can do from my mom's standpoint is just be an advocate for patients and for families, and let other residents in my residency program know about my mom's story and about everyone else's story, and letting them know that the foundation is out there, and it is a disease and not a rarity, and that we're going to see it often. So I just have a couple pictures, sorry. So this is my mom. And then that's the Las Vegas trip. If you can see, we all red face. It was a lot of fun. And that's my mom and dad. And then, sorry, these pictures are a little hard to look at, so you can turn your head. But this one up here is the ECMO machine, kind of what I was talking about. You can see the lines of red, or the blood that's coming out, and that little triangular thing is an oxygenator that oxygenates the blood. And then we kind of, I know you're probably thinking, why would you ever take pictures of your mother like this? But we had hopes that she would wake up, and we wanted to show her, like, this is, you know, everything that we tried to do for you. But it was like a form of torture looking back. But so yeah, you can see all that. But on the day before she died, one of the things that they said to us was, that they kept telling her was, oh, when you get better, we can take you to the next floor, and we can bring a dog in. We always saw these like comfort dogs, and one thing that my mom always found comfort in was her dog Maggie. And so I was like, we have to get a dog in there. And so that's Sarah. That's one of the nurses that really helped us and stayed with us. And so she ended up bringing a dog into the ICU. They weren't too happy about it, but my mom actually like reached for the dog, which was the first time that she actually got to lift up her own arm in 3 weeks. And then this is us after, life after myocarditis. So this is the race in May that we did, and our team was called Barb's Brilliant Hearts, and it has a little angel, and the wings are B's for Barb. So yeah. So our hope is to keep running for the foundation.